like to take a minute today and show you a load up. I'm getting ready to go on a hunt out west in Wyoming for pronghorn. I'm just going to show my gear and how I pack it up and my thought process behind it, along with the coolers I take when I'm driving out there. Also discuss difference when I fly for a trip. I'll show you a brief overview of my rig and how it's set up to be able to adapt to whatever you need to do out there. So if you just want to hang tight here, I'll give you a quick go through. Alright, from left to right here, I got a thermarest pillow there for in the truck, and then sleeping in the back of my truck when I get to the location. Got a travel bag that has my clothes, toiletries and stuff like that if I'm staying in a hotel or something. Also has some of my quick to access food for the trip. The other small gray bag is all the camera gear, including GoPro stuff and a Sony Alpha camera for recording the hunt. The TACU bag there, it's black. I believe it's their 3000. I got all my hunting gear in there, so that goes from the base layer clear to puffy layers. 3 shoes. I got my hunting boots, a pair of Crocs, and then I got a pair of trail runners that I use as backup depending on the hunt. And this one, these would be effective to utilize other hunts. I may bring an extra pair of boots. Then you can see I got my hunting backpack there with all the gear in it. That could be for bivvy camping out. It also has the optics. I would typically take the optics and put it on in one of my travel bags if I was flying. And then as you can see behind it, there's a TACU, I believe it's a 5500, that I would put all my backpack stuff in so it could be flown. But on this hunt, we'll not need to utilize that. Then I use this gun case that I got from Harbor Freight. It's the Apache, I believe. Works really well. I use that orange strap there to take and wrap around just from top to bottom to put the TACU on there when I'm going on a flight, so it's easier to get into the airport and get everything checked that needs to be checked. So inside of this case here, on this hunt, we're able to grouse hunt for a day or two. So I've actually packed 2 rifles in here. They're in 2 soft cases on the bottom, but I took the foam out and then I packed additional gear in there to keep stuff from moving around. But I got my ammo, some nailing pads, a glassing pad, scope cover, a chair. I've also got a fishing rod, so a good place to put extra gear that you'll be utilizing on a hunt. So that's just the basics of it there, and then I'm going to show you the truck setup next real quickly. Alright, so my gun case on top of that pad there gives it more cushion driving. A couple straps over it so it doesn't slide around. And then my 2 bags in front of that TACU, and then the other KUU bag. Then in the back seat, I like to keep my backpack so it's ready to go. My optics. Down here I keep my shoes, my boots, my bino harness, my Crocs, stuff I need to have quick access to. And that's where I'll keep that during and throughout the hunt. For my hunts, I like to take these 2 different Yeti coolers. This would be for an elk hunt if I took both, but the white one here is a Yeti 160 and it has 150 quart capacity in it. And then the tan one here is a Yeti 105 and it has an 87 quart capacity. So the combination of both of those is about what, 250 to 60 quarts. So looking at an elk, you're looking at about that much, and maybe a little more, just depends on the size. But if I can't get everything to fit in this, I'll buy an extra cooler as needed. But these are the 2 that I like to utilize. Some things to think about when you take coolers. I got some locks for the coolers. I got some bags for the capes and hides if you're going to put them in the coolers. Also, I've got a hitch haul here that has some like eye lag bolts to hook into these drop-in clips, so it'll hook to those and then hook down into the hitch haul. And then also I've run a heavy-duty cable to be able to lock the cooler onto the hitch haul. So ice wise. So always remember to pre-ice your coolers. I pre-ice mine before I put ice into it to take it out west. That way I have a cold environment the whole time. So in here you'll see I have a frozen ice jug of 1 gallon. It's pre-chilled it. I like to take these dry bags. You can put a bag of ice in these and put them on top of your meat, and it doesn't leak through those bags, and then you can dump the water out of those. So I usually take a couple of those with me. I like to use those square 1 gallon water jugs. So I keep those here, easy access in my freezer. So I've got 7 what it takes to go across the bottom of the larger Yeti there, and then about 3 to go across the other one. That is the Yeti 160 loaded on the back of my truck. Put some foam underneath of it before. Locks installed with the cable. You can get to all this stuff in the back of your truck. So if you want to be very mobile with a base camp in the back of your truck, I believe this is a pretty good setup. Just got done putting the ice blocks in here. So as you can see, 7 of the 1 gallon frozen water jugs fit. I like taking it frozen so then you're already chilled when you get out there. Of course you can, like we talked about, add ice to those bags after the fact as this melts. I use it as my drinking water. And then these bottles, once you kill something to put it in here, I take these out, use the water, keep the bottles, refreeze them again. Gives you more space to put all your game meat in your cape to get your trophy mounted.